to everybody for stopping in. Hope everybody's enjoying their day so far, their weekend so far. I certainly am. Had a great morning. Uh, Great workout earlier, and yeah, just enjoying a few days off from work finally, and yeah, so far it's been a pretty good weekend, to say the least. And It's actually starting to get pretty warm out here. If nobody's familiar with the Fresno heat, Fresno, California, it does get very hot very quickly, and it's like a hell on earth. Maybe not. I mean, not literally, obviously, but if you've been to Fresno, you live in Fresno, you know what the hell I'm talking about. So, but aside from that, now I know that today was supposed to be different. I was supposed to have a couple of guests, my best friends, to do this live chat with, and we were supposed to do box breaks, Pokemon box breaks at different breweries. But unfortunately, one of my buddies, he had to cancel on us. Family, some people sick in the family, so there's little ones and whatnot. So it's totally understandable. No worries. We had to postpone it. So we're planning on more than likely doing it next Sunday instead. So I know the go lives are on Saturdays, in which I probably will still do my usual go live on next Saturday, but then I'll be doing a special go live next Sunday. So stay tuned. But I wish the family a speedy recovery, and yeah. So, and of course, if they ever needed anything, you can always reach out to me. But traditionally, as always, going to start off with a pack beginning of the go live, and then a pack at the end of the go live. So, as always, we're going to start off with a Japanese pack, and I'm just going to be digging away, and let's see what I come up with. And bam, okay. I got one of our cool orange dragon-like packs and whatnot. And like I said, guys, at this point, I'm not going to learn Japanese unless, I don't know, I move to Japan, or I don't know, fall in love with a beautiful Japanese gal, or who knows, right? But at this point, I'm just gonna describe the pictures, and of course, if I know the Pokemon, of course, I'll be able to describe them or give its name. But for now, just gonna be like, hey, I don't know Japanese, but I'm gonna open up this pack. So deal with it. Alrighty, guys. So to start things off, a kind of like a fiery mask kind of critter right there. Bam. Okay, very cool. And followed by, of course, this one's familiar, a Zubat right there. Okay, yeah, we know our Zubat. Very cool. We have a little cactus-looking thing and whatnot. Maybe poked a couple butts and whatnot. So who knows? They probably got that. Oh, check that out. Oh, man, we already hit an EX right there. That actually looks really badass. And, all right, awesome. That's a beautiful hit right there. Followed by interesting. This kind of looks like a Zubat crosses Gengar crosses a Charizard. I don't know. But check that out. Okay, so that is our last card right there. And I'm going to have to look up that full art rare right there, or holo, however they call it. So... okay, and of course, at the end of our show, we'll be doing another pack. So, today's go live is mainly going to be just a quick update as to like where we're currently at with everything. As some of you already know, I'm obviously late to the game, but it's never too late. And let's see. Oh, those chats are coming in, and I just crashed. Yo, what's your rarest card you have? My rarest card that I have, oh geez, I can't really say for sure at the top of my head, but one of my Team Rocket Dark Mewtwo's that has already graded when I first got it, so that one is really cool. My Holo Blastoise, that's also been graded in the past. That's it's one of my favorite cards. Let's see. I do have a Dark Charizard as well, so it's one of my prized possessions and whatnot. So there's a few of them, and I appreciate the questions, and I'll be able to go back and check a lot more since people are curious about it. So, but today's episode is like I was saying. I'm a little late to the game, but I recently opened my whatchamacallit, TikTok. So I've gone TikTok. Oh my gosh! So, and pretty interesting stuff. People ask me why I haven't had a TikTok for the longest time, or use Snapchat or any of these guys. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Instagram and Facebook were really all that I really used and really cared for. I like to be social, but not like super social involved with anything. But now that I open up this channel, my YouTube channel, it's getting my information out there, all the material out there and whatnot. So the more the merrier, right? So, but unfortunately, I kind of got to it when it first got banned, and it was like, well, crap. But thanks to a couple of buddies, Dylan and Carly, so I appreciate you guys bringing it to my attention, and they encourage that. It's like, why don't you open up a TikTok and put the Pokemon stuff and all your YouTube stuff out there. So I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you very much. And now that it's available, boom, you can go check that out. My screen name is iAMkx7, same as my YouTube channel. So you guys will be able to go check that out. I've been uploading all of my videos on there, and more to come, of course. So, so just been kind of messing with that, toying with that, and kind of just seeing what what's going to generate from that. So let's see, checking out. This is on my phone, by the way, today. So I'm kind of just leaning in. Hey, can you give some supportive words for my friend May? She's having a colonoscopy. Oh, okay. Well, May, it's a pretty routine procedure. I know it could be pretty difficult anytime somebody goes in for a procedure, any kind of procedure. So it could be very frightening. It can be pretty overwhelming and difficult for them. But it's pretty straightforward. No pun intended. It also depends on what the person's having a colonoscopy for. But it's better to get information as to whatever issues it is, whether it's if that's a particular type of age that it's encouraged to get one, kind of like annually or routinely, or if they're going through some sort of conditions and whatnot, if they're having some sort of symptoms that's kind of took the medical team in order to perform a colonoscopy. So it could be a number of different things. So hopefully it's just more diagnostic than anything else. And I hope and pray that everything works out well for you. And but yeah, it's not too terrible. I personally have not had one myself. I suppose sometime in the future I will. But ask many questions. I know it's very difficult not to, but the more questions you ask, the more informed that you will be. And the thing is that if you don't like the answer that you're getting, or if the information might seem overwhelming, you can take somebody with you, somebody that can be very open-minded, that can be very they have a lot of questions, and the whole point of all this is to be informed, right? So it's not to scare people, but it's the better that you're informed on something, the higher likeliness that you'll go through a procedure in a more comfortable is not the best word, but from a better state of mind, I suppose. Because we go through things all the time. We white coat syndrome ourselves. Basically, we read things and we hear about things and then we manifest it, right? So this happens to people that work in medicine all the time, from doctors to nurses to whomever, right? So they read some information and then, oh my God, I got cancer, and I think I'm having a heart attack, and I think I'm also having a stroke all at the same time because I'm having all these things. No, so it's best to be informed on all of this, but to approach it with an open mind as best that you can, and with encouragement along the way, and having the best that you possibly can patience. I know this might sound very redundant or cliche, but that's the truth. I mean, that is definitely the best way to look at it. But if you have somebody that can be there as like a supportive care, to also ask questions, because in those moments when you're feeling like, oh my gosh, like I got so many questions but I can't really think of it right now, it's important to write them down, and that way, ask. And never be afraid to ask questions. If you ever feel that you're afraid to ask questions, or you're not getting all of your questions answered, ask somebody else. Get a second opinion. It is your right. We have rights as patients to be able to be given the most accurate information as possible. So don't ever be afraid to ask questions, and to get the most understanding of what you're going through. Okay, so again, May, I wish you all the best, and thank you for the question. So, going back to my updates, and what's been going on lately, the accountability weigh-ins. I mean, hopefully you guys are checking that out too. That's been a lot of fun, and it's so interesting. It really is keeping me accountable. Like, I'll talk to people, and they'll be like, "Oh man, like, what is your goal? Like, what's the, how many pounds are you trying to drop?" Or, "Man, that's so cool," and, "Oh my God, I can't believe, you take off your shirt and you got a gut hanging out," and all that kind of stuff. It's like, well, yeah, that's the whole point of it, right? We are reluctant to take off our shirts until we're beach body ready. No, that's bullshit. How else are we gonna take accountability and keep making gains and strides and whatnot, unless you're dealing with the realism of it, right? You're seeing yourself for where you're currently at, not "this is who I am," and like, no. I mean, that's crap. Like, we shouldn't have to settle for anything like that. That's shitty advice. You got to look at yourself for where you're currently at, and that way, it's when you decide to, oh man, like, drink that extra beer, or eat that extra, cheeseburger, or whatever it may be, or eat that cookie, because I got a sweet tooth. I love my cookies. I love my cake. I love my ice cream and food and all that kind. I love to eat, but at the same time, it's at what cost? My health. I mean, I've always been a big guy. I'm not gargantuan, but at the same time, I could always look healthier. I could always feel healthier, and when I know that on Friday I'm going to be posting a new video, I basically kind of put myself into the mindset of, like, you know what? I shouldn't be snacking at night. I know that I have inflammatory issues sometimes with my gut, or I know I bloat pretty easily, and this is all gonna be broadcasted, and it's like, if you're cool to show this week, hey, I fucked up, pardon my language, but hey, I fucked up, I messed up, I ate more than I should have, or I didn't really follow my regiment, or whatever it may be. Again, I'm not encouraging people, "Oh, you messed up, you fall off the wagon," and like, no, but shit happens sometimes. We're only human, right? It does happen. So this whole point of, like, well, what's your goal? Where are you trying to get to? And how much time are you trying to get to? This is not a get to. This is just constant, like, this is a day-to-day journey. There's struggle along the way, and then there's victories and rewards along the way and whatnot. But whenever people, they always do these diets, whether they're appropriate diets or crash diets or whatever it may be, they reach their goal. A lot of the time, they don't sustain it. That's the whole problem of this. It's like a broken record. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard this many times, but it's the truth. These kind of crash diets, or whatever it may be, they're not sustainable. Why? Because unless we're, non-social, unless the person is, the person doesn't like to be social, they don't like to hang out with people and whatnot. So it's, you're going to go out, you're going to go hang out, you're going to go have drinks, you're going to go, hopefully in moderation, right? So you always want to be safe. But you're going to go out, you're going to socialize, you're going to eat, you're going to drink, you're going to have fun and whatnot. If you're doing that every single night, obviously you're going to put on the pounds. If you're not doing that at all, you're, I don't know, it's maybe you're not a social person. But again, it's, if we restrict ourselves insanely like that, eventually we will break, and then we binge, and then we feel even more like shit, and then it's like it's a vicious cycle, and that it's not something that's it's not kosher, it's not cool, it's not fun. It's to have a good balance of all these things. But again, it comes down to the whole point of enjoy what you eat, but make sure you're exercising. Make sure you're taking in more good food than bad food for you, and just enjoy it along the way. If you're not enjoying this, Uh, if you're not enjoying this, more than likely you're doing it for something else, not necessarily for yourself. Technically, big picture wise, you're doing it for yourself, or you should be doing it for yourself. But if you're doing it just to, oh, like girls are going to be noticing me now, or I'm going to get laid easier and all that kind of stuff. Not necessarily. No, same thing with for women. I'm not going to speak for all women and whatnot, and I don't want to generalize, but it's I want to have a sex appeal, and I want to attract this one person in my life, and all this yada yada yada. Those are all that's fair. Those are all good things. That's totally understandable. I mean, again, we're creatures of to adapt and to socialize and want to be wanted, right? But if you are only doing it strictly for the purpose to wanting to be wanted, I'm not saying you're wasting your time, but then it's like you get that thing, and now what? You get your chiseled six-pack abs. It's like good. That's awesome. Congratulations. But sustaining it from then on, or it's you got to have a good meaning and purpose behind the whole thing. So that's why when I say that, hey, I fell off the wagon this week or something, or I didn't go to the gym a couple of days, which is thankfully gym has become also a mindset for me. If I don't get into the gym at least 5 days a week, then I feel like shit, mentally as well as physically, and that's just something that I love. I enjoy. It's fun for me. I don't feel like, oh man, like I better go to the gym or else I'm gonna feel like shit. It's like, no, I know that I'm gonna feel like shit if I don't go to the gym. So that is that's my journey. That's my love for it. Okay, so everybody's gonna have their own feelings behind it. Everybody's gonna have their own reasoning behind things, and this applies to everything, anything and everything. We can all do something. We can all learn a new language. We could all exercise. We could all, change career paths. We could all, but the thing is, if we don't have a good enough why, we don't have a good reason for it, a solid, convictional reason for it, we could do it, but are you doing it well? It's a big difference. Anybody can do something, well, most things, but there's a difference between doing something and doing something well. So that's what it comes down to. So the why is huge for anything. So, but yeah, so far, I mean, now that I look back, I mean, a couple of weeks now doing the accountability weigh-in, I think I started at like what, guys, like 260 something, 262, 260, whatever. I'll have to go back and check my, and that's another thing. I know a lot of people will write these things down and log it and all that kind of stuff, and that's totally fine. Whatever works for you. This is working for me. This is what I'm enjoying. This is what I'm loving. Why? Because one, I have visual documentation, and I have you guys as witnesses and whatnot. So that's what matters most. But already, I'm down to 254.1, I think, something like that. So, approximately 10 pounds already in just a few weeks. Now, again, I have already said in the videos, not to sound like a broken record, did I literally lose 10 pounds and whatnot? Like 10 pounds of fat? Not necessarily. A lot of it is water weight. And that's the thing. Like, some people get discouraged. That's why it's like, have the visual aid and the scale. The thing with the scale, though, is that, yes, you should keep track of, whatever pounds that you're currently at. That way it's like, okay, I was here this week, and the next week I want to be here, and this and that and so forth. You don't want to be here and then, oh, I'm losing weight, and then the next week it's like no. It's, again, how much water am I retaining? Do I have bloating issue? Do I have any sort of food allergies? Do I have, or am I having proper bowel movements? Am I voiding? Just a fancy way of saying peeing and pooping and all that kind of stuff. So all those things are valid. That's why I always say that use the scale as a tool, but don't make it the end-all be-all, because that's pointless. Because again, when your gut's hanging out because you're trying to have the body flush the excess toxins and fluids and out and all that of the week, then you just allow your body to do its thing. Now if you're eating healthy, you're making gain, or you're working out and doing all this, and you're starting to put on pounds, then I highly encourage for you to get checked out. I'm not I'm a medical professional from a registered nurse's standpoint. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a nutritionist. I'm not a medical doctor. But in those cases, if you're putting on, knowing that you're putting in the effort and you're making good choices and all that kind of stuff, then I encourage that you see a actual medical provider. That way you can get yourself tested, and that is a big thing too. Because not all diets are the same. Not all food intakes are the same for everybody. We live in a culture of gluten intolerance and food allergies and all this kind of stuff. I mean, and fast metabolism, slow metabolism. Oh, it's like there's so much out there that there's no cookie cutter, one size fits all kind of situation. There's only basically, don't quote me on this, but from the extensive like research and videos and professionals and all these people, they have all these different commonalities. But the one thing that science has proven when it comes to this particular subject and topic of weight loss or weight gain or whatever it is, it's calorie intake or excess calories. It's a unit measure of energy expenditure. That's what a calorie is. We take it in and use it. It's fuel, literally. You put gas in the car, it burns. That's what it is. And when you eat less calories based off of whatever your maintenance caloric intake, just to live a healthy life, to have energy throughout the day, when you eat less than that, your body is going to eventually adapt. It's going to say, hey, my maintenance is, let's say hypothetically speaking, 2,000, right? So you take 2,000 calories, that's just, your daily burn. Like, this is like for you to wake up and move around and get, blah, 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 So it's basically saying, okay, make sure you're putting 2,000 calories into the body so we can stay where we are at. And it's like, okay, well, you know what? Today I'm going to be putting 1,800 calories. I'm not going to give you the full 2,000 calories. By you just living the life, not doing excess exercise or anything like that, your body is now deducted 200 calories. So you're basically burning just to live your life, because you're taking a little bit away from your maintenance. Now, when you start adding weight training and cardio and all, you're actually moving your body. You're putting your body under stress. You're forcing it to do excess work. You're going to be burning more calories. Again, it's a unit of energy that you're expending. You're burning more than you're taking in. So of course, it's going to all add up over time. So it does take time, because it's 3,500 calories for 1 pound of fat to be burned. And then eventually you put yourself based off of your height and, your bone structure, whether you're a mesomorph or ectomorph or any of these others. I have to brush up on my anatomy phys, but all those things, once you take those into consideration, that's how you really can measure your goals from here on out. But all I'm saying is that, so like, why am I going too deep into that? I'm not trying to get too deep into it, but all I'm trying to say is it's basically the only diet that's actually been scientifically proven. Why? Because it's basic biology. You take away calories, you're going to lose weight. You put in more calories, you're going to add weight. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. There's a YouTuber, a very famous dude. Some people love him, some people don't. I mean, but he's very entertaining. He always talks about and encourages calories in, calories out. Greg Doucette. Like, I see a lot of his videos. Again, man, very entertaining, and more power to you. But he's right. Calories in, calories out. That's as basic as it gets. So whether you're doing keto or high protein, high fat, low carb, so water diet, vitamin diet, whatever the hell, you're putting in more, you're gonna add more. You put in less, you're gonna lose. So it's as simple as that. So. But thankfully, I'm feeling great. I'm having a lot of energy. Again, I'm making better decisions. I'm being very mindful. I'm taking responsibility and accountability. It's in its name, right? Into this journey, because because Beachbody season is coming up. Well, sure. I would like to take off my shirt and look good. have a sex appeal, whatever it may be. I would like to look healthy. I don't want my gut hanging out. Aside from the whole sex appeal and attraction, it's also, I'm only 37 years old, but, we're seeing a lot more younger people that um, are being diagnosed with diabetes, are being diagnosed with different kinds of cancers, are going in for colonoscopies or endoscopies and all this kind of stuff from younger ages, where before it used to be, oh my God, like, why, you're too young for that. So how often do we used to hear that? No, you're too young for that. No, you're too young for that. It's actually becoming more common now, unfortunately. Especially like, colon cancer or pancreatic cancer. Whatchamacallit, rectal cancer. The big C. It's always going to be scary for everybody, but it's becoming more common for younger people too. So that's another thing. And also there's a genetic factor, right? So that's another thing that I also have to be taking into consideration. I'm not trying to scare myself from living my life, and that's another thing. That's another point of this whole. The reason why I don't put like a goal set, like, oh, I'm going to be 215 pounds, but it's like, no, I'm going to be 200 whatever pounds at whatever time. But the whole point of all of this is doesn't matter what goal you set, if you don't keep yourself accountable, however which way. For me, it's I'm going to show my body to you guys on Fridays, so I better stick to my guns. Other people, they could do without that. They can actually stick to a weight loss goal, journey, whatever it may be, and they can keep it mental. But when I know that I'm going to show myself off, then I better be doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Now, does that mean I'm imprisoning myself? No, not necessarily. Whatever works. And of course, I'm not doing anything self-harming. I'm not, encouraging anybody to do anything stupid, but whatever works for you. This is working for me. Other things work for other people. But when you know that you've started something and you're supposed to be following through and you don't, that is the real falling off the wagon. That is the real, like, no that we need to be looking at and reflecting on. Hey man, are we going to make these changes or are we not? Are you just going to wait until you actually get diagnosed with something detrimental or not? Hopefully not critical, hopefully not terminal. God forbid, right? So, but yeah, so far it looks like I'm making, great strides, and I'm very happy, and I appreciate everybody's encouragement. They're like, oh man, I can't believe you're doing that. You actually take your shirt off and you shove it on it. It's like, yeah, and so can you, right? So, and yeah, so that's the whole point of all of this. So, but aside from that, the Pokemon stuff is going really, really great as well. Some people are reaching out. It's like, oh, I'm looking for this, or hey, man, like, are you selling any of these cards? And I haven't necessarily yet. I mean, but I've been toying with the idea of, like, there's this online website. It's kind of like an eBay for like trading cards. It's called tcgplayer.com, if I'm not mistaken. So I think I put some cards on there. I'll have to go back. It's been a minute since I've done that. So eventually, yeah, sure, I'll get into selling these cards as well, because I mean, this stuff is piling up, and I can only have so much room and whatnot, and of course keep my prized possessions, right? So, but yeah, so we'll see what comes of that, and then, of course, down the line, again with my the second channel that I'm going to be opening up. I already mentioned that yesterday in my accountability weigh-in videos. I'm going to be posting them on there, so I'll drop it in my Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all that as soon as I create that channel. I'm probably going to be working on that today. So, like to keep myself occupied. If I'm not working, I got to be doing something. So I don't know. Maybe it's some undiagnosed ADHD that I have. I have no idea, but I gotta constantly be doing something. Otherwise, I feel like I'm not doing anything at all. So, But with that, I'm not going to take up too much of your guys' time. I really appreciate those that stopped by. I appreciate those that wrote your comments. I'll definitely check out the other ones that were left as well. Hello to everybody that wrote something. I really appreciate it. And again, I'm very thankful for everybody's support and love and encouragement. Been liking these videos, and yeah. So this has been a lot of fun, and it's only going to get better. So with that, and of course, towards the end of the of our go lives, we're going to be doing our next pack opening. So, and this one will be an English pack. And so, let me see my magical mystery bag of treats. More treats than tricks, just like in the videos. That's right. So, let me see what I'm gonna venture in today. Let's see. I'm gonna be digging deep into that. Can you imagine? I pick a one with like a insane hits and outside the Pokemon TCG Buster Packs, and oh, look at that! One of my favorites. 151, Pokemon 151. One of my buddies at work actually, he's like, man, I love it when you open up the 151. Blake, I'm talking about you, bro. That's right. And because he's like, because those are the ones that I know and I love, and it's cool and it's very nostalgic. And you know what? I feel the same way. You know, these were the original ones, and so it's good to know what we know. That's right. Even at this age, what, 37. So, alrighty. So that's going to be that card right there. So, and that was my trick. That's right. So we're starting off with some green energy right there. Very cool. Next we have oh, look at that. We got our Pikachu. Very cool. And looking at one of these, you were in our stream on Whatnot. Oh, yes, I was. That's right. I told you guys. And Whatnot's another great app that I use, not to take away from the cards, but I've utilized that a lot for a lot of these Pokemon cards. There's a lot of great sellers out there that they put on a very entertaining shows. So shout out to Whatnot. It's been awesome. And I know some people have been telling me like, why don't you do Whatnot? And I will, at some point when I'm, again, ready to sell. But right now I'm just generating the content out there. And then eventually, why not? I'll do Whatnots. Why not? What not? Right? So, okay, anyways, so back to the cards. So we got our Pikachu, and then we got our Farfetch'd. Okay, so we are not a stranger to the Farfetch'd. Next we have our Boom. Okay, a Shelder. Okay, Shelder, like Sheldon, Shelder Cooper. Big Bang Theory, anybody? All right. Next, we move on to our Bam right there. Oh, look at that. A Helix Fossil. Okay, an antique Helix Fossil. Very cool. Very cool. And then next we have our Boom. Okay, I love the Kadabra. I love the Abras are cool, but I love the Kadabras, and of course, who doesn't love the Alakazams? And that was another one of my favorite cards that I got, an original Dark Alakazam. So, okay, next we got our Bam, a Bulbasaur. We know the Bulbasaur. I'm sorry, excuse me, Ivysaur. Just as cute, And next we have our Boom right there, our Slowbro. Damn, bro, why you gotta be so slow? Followed by a Boom. Okay, we got our Goldeen. Then we got our first reverse holo of the day. Goldeen. All right, very cute. Next we have our Whoop. Okay, all right, we've Almanti. We've crossed the Almanti, which leads us to our final card of the day. What can it be? One way to find out, and bam! Alrighty, we got that Articuno again. We've had the Articuno a few times before, but you know what? It's one of those rare fossil birds, and we love them. Alrighty, no problem. Thank you, Articuno. You're always welcome in this house. Okay, so alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping by. Make sure if you weren't able to see it on the Go Live, then or in live, then make sure you go and check it out, and spread the word. You guys have my full permission to share this content out there, and keep the channel growing. We're at 128 subscribers so far. I just want to boost that number, just keep on rising, and because the more subscribers that I'm going to be getting into even larger and larger packs, more expensive packs, more rare packs. So just FYI. So this is only the beginning, and it's only going to get better than better. And as always, keep sending your love and support. Please keep liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing, and let's keep boosting that algorithm. Go check out my new TikTok channel, and of course Instagram and Facebook, and YouTube, of course. And hope everybody has a great rest of their day. Enjoy the Saturday. It's not super hot just yet, thank God. It is a beautiful day, so hopefully everybody has one as well. And I shall see you all soon. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great one.